Welcome to Conversations with the Universe. Today, I'd like to talk about becoming magnetic. So take a slow, deep breath in. Hold on to that breath for a few moments before you slowly let it go. And again, breathe in, holding on to that breath for a couple of seconds before you gently exhale. Allow your shoulders to soften. Allow your jaw to relax. Let your breathing find its own rhythm. There's nowhere else you need to be right now. There's nothing else that you need to do. There's nothing that you need to become. Just be here, be grounded, and be present. I think that most people believe magnetism is something that you build, that if you become more confident or successful or attractive, more accomplished, that people will naturally be drawn to you. But I don't think that's how magnetism works. I think that most magnetic people are rarely trying to be magnetic at all. They're simply deeply engaged with their own lives. Have you ever noticed that people you remember most aren't always the loudest people in the room? They're not the most beautiful or the funniest or even the most successful. They're the people who seem completely at home with themselves. The ones who light up when they talk about something that they love. The ones who become completely absorbed in a conversation, a piece of music, a book, a walk through the woods, a new idea, or just anything that fascinates them. Their attention isn't fixed on themselves, it's fixed on life. And somehow, that makes everyone else want to lean in. Somewhere along the way, many of us learned to hide the parts of ourselves that made us different. Maybe someone laughed at what excited you, or you were told you were too sensitive, too intense, too quiet, too imaginative, too emotional, too much, or not enough. So you began sanding down the edges of who you were, not because you wanted to, but because you wanted to belong. But what if those differences were never the problem? What if they were the invitation? The things that make you different are often the things that make your presence unforgettable. Your way of seeing the world, your sense of humor, your curiosity or creativity or tenderness, your love of strange little subjects that most people overlook. The parts you've been trying to hide may be the very things that someone else finds inspiring. How do you figure this out? Well, joy leaves clues. Pay attention to what makes you lose track of time. Pay attention to what you keep returning to even after you've convinced yourself it's impractical. Pay attention to the conversations that make you feel more alive. Pay attention to what you do when no one is watching. Those aren't random preferences. They're pieces of you asking to be lived. The universe has never asked you to become more like someone else. Look around. No two flowers bloom the same way. No two waves reach the shore with the same shape. Nature doesn't create by copying. It creates through endless variation. So why would you be any different? Perhaps the reason you never felt fully magnetic isn't because something's missing. Perhaps it's because you've been spending so much energy trying to become acceptable that you've forgotten what it feels like to be fully alive. There's something undeniably compelling about a person who stops asking for permission to enjoy their own life. Someone who wears what they love, who laughs when something is genuinely funny. Someone who speaks about what fascinates them and creates because they can't help it. Someone who learns because they're curious and loves because their heart is open, not because they're trying to impress anyone, but because they're participating in the life that is uniquely theirs. Take a slow, deep breath and ask yourself quietly, what part of me have I been hiding because I thought it made me too different? Don't answer immediately, just simply let the question settle. And then ask another. What brings me so much joy that I forget to wonder what anyone else thinks? Stay there for a moment, because that's where your life has been waiting for you. You were never meant to be a copy of someone else. You were meant to be more completely yourself. And when you stop hiding your joy, when you stop apologizing for your gifts, when you stop shrinking the parts of yourself that make you unique, something beautiful happens. Stop chasing magnetism. and magnetism quietly begins to follow you. Take a last slow breath and just let yourself imagine what life might feel like if you trusted your own joy a little more, if you followed your own curiosity more often, if you actually believed that your uniqueness wasn't something to overcome, but something to express. Because there's enough people out there trying to fit in. What the world is longing for is the people who are fully alive. Thank you for spending these moments with me. Until next time.